So, good afternoon. I'm Alpha and I'm going to report about protocol. Well, what is protocol? Well, protocol refers to the accepted rules governing the conduct of the diplomats with the foreign ministry, the official and the public in the host country, other diplomats, and international organization. For others, they doesn't know what protocol is, but in a simpler explanation, mostly it is the glue that holds things together. It is the playing field that levels the playing field. If you think of it as a game, it is something that everybody knows of the game or how to play the game because it is the rules of the game. Ulit-ulit. It is the rules of the game. And because of it, it makes things easier for everybody to get along because they know what to expect. That is protocol. And in the rules of protocol, it also includes the niceties, the courtesies, and politeness in oral and written communication, the attendance in public functions, and in the day-to-day performance of duties by diplomats. So during the meetings, during the program, nakapaloob din to sa protocol. Even yung etiquette, the behavior of the diplomats, the world leaders, the ambassadors are being observed in this protocol. And also, the rules of protocol is applied not just to the diplomats, but as well as to non-diplomats. These people are the government officials, the corporate executives, the multinational corporation owners, the officers and employees. Ito naman yung mga tao na they are the one who's in charge when it comes to upon the arrival of the diplomats, the people who will serve them, the people who will safeguard the security, the officers, yung mag-ensure ng kaligtasan ng mga diplomats, ambassadors, once na nag-land na sila sa host country, the people who will accommodate them to their stay, kung saan man sila mag-stay, may it be a hotel or a vacation house, kung ano man yung mapapagdesisyonan, these are the officers and employees, even ordinary citizens and the public in general in dealing with one another. If I'm not mistaken or my memory serves me right, when the ASEAN summit happened here in the Philippines, and Tagaytay, because I'm living in Tagaytay, Tagaytay is one of the places where in madadaanan ng mga diplomats. I guess, I'm not sure if sa Batangas ginanap yung isang meeting or dito talaga sa Tagaytay. But before the event happened, the preparation here is the mayor itself conducted or supervised tumulong siya. Tumulong ang municipality na Tagaytay, nakipag-coordinate sila sa mga police, even sa mga tao, sa mga residents or normal citizens here in Tagaytay. Nagkaroon sila ng mga protocol na bawal maglalabas ng araw ng ganito, bawal yung mga sasakyan ng ganito sa lane na ito. So they are the one who's in charge during that day. Okay? So yun. Even kami, even yung mga tao na normal citizens are being applied or observed by this protocol. So according nga kay Luis Salcedo Moreno, Guide to Protocol, it is a body of ceremonial rules to be observed in all written personal intercourse between heads of different states or their ministers. So yun ang protocol. Well, the origin of protocol, at different periods in the past, protocol was used to refer as the rolls of paper on which agreements between city-states and later nations were recorded. It is the agreement itself, the main treaty. It is a document supplementing the principal agreement or the treaty, the official minutes of an international conference signed by participants. So before, ang protocol, it is a written document, black and white. It is a written document kung saan dito nakalagay what is the things that happen during a diplomatic meeting. Ano yung mga resolutions na na-arise? What are the treaties that being signed? Who were the people, who were the person involved in this treaty, in this sign of agreement? Naka-record yun lahat ng minutes. And even the styles and the titles of states, their heads and public ministers, and indicates the form and courtesy to be observed in all international acts. Even yung mga simple courtesies, kung ano-ano yung mga nangyari, kung ano-ano yung mga nangyari during the diplomatic meeting were all recorded on that document. Okay? So now, the sources of protocol were from local customs, laws, and regulations, the traditions, scholarly works, treaties, and even international agreements. The example of it is the Congress of Vienna of 1815, Congress of Aix-la-Chapelle of 1818, the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations of 1961, the Vienna Convention on Consular Relation of 1963, and the Vienna Convention on International Organization. Well, why is that protocol very important when it comes to this kind of meeting, this kind of event, this kinds of Why is it very important? Well, it regulates contact between nations and their representatives. Yung mga pinapadala na ng mga kada nations ay nare-regulate. It facilitates cordial relations among nations by observing rules of conduct based on principle of give and take. The importance of protocol in this is that nagkakaroon ng cordial relations among nations. By means of observing the rules, there is a principle of give and take. Example, if you respect me, I will respect you. Give and take. Okay? It promotes friendly and peaceful relation. It avoids delay and ensures maximum efficiency, minimizes friction, confusion, and chaos. Mabalik tayo sa promotes friendly and peaceful relation. By observing the proper protocol, okay, nagkakaroon ng isang harmonious relation, peaceful relations sa bawat isa. Why? Because they are acknowledging differences. The cultural sensitivity is being developed during these kinds of events. Why? Different nations, different cultures are being observed. Okay? So if you respect my culture, I respect yours, no problem at all. Okay? And by observing a proper protocol, it avoids delay. It avoids friction, confusions, and chaos, but it ensures maximum efficiency. Walang delay na nangyayari. Hindi nalilate. On time lagi. Okay? And as well, yun nga, it promotes mutual respect for each other's rights. And it provides guidance through experience of others. My understanding on this is that protocol is a written document, right? And the importance of having protocol is that you have a guide on what to do and not to do during a diplomatic meeting. Kung ano yung mga hindi nyo na-meet before, you can meet it today. You can improve by basing or having a guidance of the experiences before. Okay? And also, it resolves disputes concerning privileges and immunities of persons entitled to them. In this protocol, yun nga, there's a treaty, the signing of agreements. So, the importance of protocol is that it resolves disputes and it guarantees free exercise of rights and privileges by those entitled to them. So, na-exercise dito yung privileges ng isang diplomat, the privileges that they can, or the host country can offer to the diplomats, okay? Kung sino yung mga entitled, di ba ang mga diplomats, they have immunity, they have special privileges. So, nag-guarantee yun, na-exercise yun doon. Because you are observing the proper protocol. That is the importance of protocol. And also, it clarifies the liabilities of those who do not observe the rules. In every rules, there's also a corresponding sanction for those who will not follow the rules, right? So, it clarifies the liabilities dun sa mga hindi makakasunod. Okay? Example, kung ang representative of this nation didn't comply or didn't observe the proper protocol, then there is a proper sanction or karampatang sanction for them. It can be, they'll be reported back to their nation, or there's something that will be upon the agreement. Okay? So yon. Example of this, as I've said earlier, the ASEAN Summit that happened here in the Philippines. Okay? This is our President Rodrigo Duterte with the other world leaders. And also here, as you can see in the picture, this is our president being welcomed by the security or the military forces of the country that he visited. As you can see already, the protocol is being observed there. Why? By the way of welcoming the president. Okay? So yon. Well, application of protocol is not just on the personal or verbal or oral communication. It is also applied in the posture on the way on how a diplomat should be representing his or herself, the names, especially different countries, different ways of addressing someone, the introduction on how will you properly introduce someone. Handshakes, even handshakes is very, very particular. There's specific handshake, okay? Proper handshake, the greetings, conversations, even the giving of cards. Residence, signing agreements, social entertainment, kung saan maybe dito na papasok yung sa mga diplomatic balls, okay? Philippine Foreign Service. And in additional, according to Ms. Ann Beard, she is the founder of the Protocol and Diplomacy International and even the Protocol Officer Association. She states that the importance of protocol in diplomacy and the business world is immeasurable, okay? Because it is for her, it is understanding the culture. And if you don't understand others' culture, they're less likely to do business with you, because in these kinds of meeting, in diplomatic meetings or international organization meetings, it is not just the diplomats are having vacations, but most of the time, the happenings in here are more on business, more on trade, okay? So if you don't treat them with courtesy, if you don't treat them with respect, if you don't acknowledge others' culture, they are more or less likely to do business with you, okay? So as I've said, always treat everyone with courtesy and respect, and may not know the person you treat today will be the first or the next leader of his or her nation. So always be gracious, always be kind, always be honorable in everything you do. That's it. So thank you for your time. And now let's go to the discussion of posture.
So, application of protocol in posture. So, posture is all body positions assumed in daily activities like walking, standing, and sitting. It can be graceful presentation of your form. It can affect your health, reveals your attitude, changes your appearance, indicates self-esteem and self-assurance, and shows how healthy one is physically and mentally. So, importante na malaman natin yung mga dapat at hindi dapat na posture when it comes attending formal gatherings. And it is also important to know that posture has effect on ourselves and to people around us, para maging aware tayo kung ano mga dapat natin gawin on that situation. So, good posture involves having your shoulders relaxed with your head, body, and thighs in a straight line. So, sabi, it creates favorable impression or merong good or strong effect on that situation or on someone, and makes one look more impressive or nagbibigay marked impression or may power to excite attention, and proclaims feeling of poise, control, and self-assurance. So, pwedeng magpakita ng self-confidence, attitude, and belief. So, bad posture is defined as when our spine is positioned in unnatural positions. So, ito yung mga dropping. Lax posture suggests sluggishness, poor muscle tone na nagkakos na nagkakause you look, feel tired and weak. So, cause strains and stress to muscle and body structures and gives unnecessary aches and pains in any part of the body. So, dahil nga bad posture, hindi komportable yung mga positions ng parts of the body, nagkakaroon ng mga body pains or stress sa muscle and or yung mga ngalay or ngimay ng iba't ibang part ng body. So, next is spoiled appearance by distorting normal shape, deforming shoulders, and curving spine. So, kapag nasanay na ng bad posture, pwedeng magkaroon na ng distorting normal shape or deforming shoulders or curving spines. Yung parang yung sa likod. So, next is how to stand correctly. So, this help us to keep our bones and joints in correct alignments so that our muscles are used correctly. With good standing posture, it will help us also to look more attractive. So, how to stand correctly? Body alignment achieved by stand with back to a wall, feet slightly apart, place heels about 3 inches from the wall, lean back. So if back, head, and shoulders all touch the wall when you lean backwards, then your body is straight the way it should be. So, some arm and hand positions while standing up. So, bakit ba natin kailangan malaman ng mga ito? So, these arm and hand positions ay nagsisilbing comfort natin when we feel conscious, nervous, shy, and distracted. And kapag na-feel natin yung mga ganito, nakakagawa tayo ng mga unnecessary movements that looks like a signal of a lack of confidence and unprofessionalism. So, with this arm and hand position, it will help us para maiwasan natin ang mga unnecessary movements and to ease nervous tension and para maiwasan nating makadistract at makakot ng attention ng iba. Some arm and hand positions while standing up. So, folded arms, keep fingers pointed up as you fold arms across your waist with hands resting on opposite upper arms. In lotus position, put your left hand on your right palm. And cup hand, one palm is placed on the top of your other palm. And clasping hands, slightly interlacing your finger below your abdominal. So, how to walk properly? This helps us to avoid injuries and give us the best presentation of ourselves. So, next is how to walk properly. Assume the proper standing position. Feet in straight line, 1 or 2 inches apart. Length of steps depends on your height and length of your legs. So, 1 foot is average step for woman. So, kapag mahaba yung legs, take smaller steps. Kapag shorter legs, take long steps. So, each step hits the ground first before body weight rolls forward along to the ball of the foot behind the big toe. So, let arms brush slightly on the sides. Keep legs passing close together. Move arms alternately and at opposite direction. So, kapag yung left leg steps, the right arm extends. So, glide smoothly as you walk. So, avoid yung exaggerated left to right hip movement and not attractive or sexy walks. So, hindi yung mga walk na more as attention getter and distracting rather than graceful. So, ito yung traditional practice of balancing a book on the head, kung saan it helps the body to put into proper alignment.
This is the continuation of posture. How to sit correctly. First, touch the edge of the seat. Second, and allow back of one leg touch the chair. Third, bend the hip and knee to lower yourself. And fourth, sit on the front part of the chair. And last, use your hands to gently lift yourself into the chair. Next, leg position while sitting. The first position is original leg position. Ito ay simpleng pag-una ng isang paa at yung kabilang paa ay i-slant mo doon sa naunang paa. Sunod, double L position. Pagsasamahin mo lang sa isang direction or pagdidikitin mo lang yung dalawang paa mo or yung dalawang tuhod at papupuntahin sa isang direction. Next, semi-S position. Pagkokrosin lang yung hita or legs and then pagdidikitin yung ankles. And last, cross S position. Ang cross S position naman, pagdidikitin mo yung dalawa mong hita at tuhod pati yung ankles mo. Next, sitting position for men. Sitting among men add character and poise to appearance. De cuatro. This is the example of de cuatro. Ang de cuatro ay hindi offensive sa culture natin, pero sa Middle East at Thailand, ito ay rude pag para bang ipinoint mo yung paa mo sa ibang tao. And may nabasa akong article na parang inaano si President Duterte kasi doon sa portrait niya, naka-4 yata siya, or naka-4 nga siya. Eh yung ibang president, pag naka-pose, formal poses yung ginagawa nila. Pero si President Duterte, naka-4. Next is continental pose. Ang continental pose ay very much acceptable. More dignified in any parts of the world. Pero sa culture natin, parang mas sanay ang tao na babae ang gumagawa ng ganitong pose. Parang pag lalaki gumawa nito, sinasabi nilang, sorry sa term na gagamitin ko, sinasabi nilang bading or bakla. Sitting correctly ay may advantages sa atin. Nakakabawas ng back pain, nakaka-increase ng ating energy levels, lalo ba't komportable tayo sa upang ginagawa natin. Nakakabawas sakit sa ating balikat at leeg. Next, color of pants, socks, and shoes. Pants, socks, and shoes must be of the same color. In business world, most acceptable colors of socks are black, brown, and navy blue. Importante ang magkaroon ng same color sa pagsusuot kasi parang plain lang, mas maganda tingnan. Kasi pangit naman pag iba-ibang kulay ang suot. Lalo pag sa mga business, tsaka ang pangit naman tingnan pag nagkakaiba nga yung kulay, mas maganda pag iisa lang. At ang kulay ay nagbibigay at nakaka-attract ng attention. Nag-create siya ng emotional connection. At ang color ay importante kasi mas napapaganda nito yung look natin. Para mas nagiging comfortable din tayo kung maayos yung suot ng ating kulay. Never use white socks for business attire. Base sa nabasa ko, white socks are too casual at ito ay sportswear. Pag white socks, mas bagay siya kung ipapartner sa mga track pants, athletic shorts, mga ganun, pang sportswear nga, ganun. Importante magkaroon tayo ng good posture to improve our muscle and joint function. Pag may good posture tayo, yung muscles natin ay nakakapag-function properly. Nakakatulong din ito para mabawasan yung mga sakit-sakit na nararamdaman natin. Or yung mga pag ba nangangalay, nakakabawas. Pag proper posture, nakakasakit siya ng mga muscle, joints, nakakasakit siya ng katawan. Kaya dapat magkaroon tayo ng good posture. Thank you.
Names. My report is all about names. Which name to use? Use the conservative approach, title plus last name. Variations in different countries. Ito yung ginagamit ng mga pangalan sa Philippines and Western countries. First name, middle name, last name. Example is CHRISANGEL Santos HABAGAT. So, pag sa China naman, mga Chinese na pangalan nila is last name, first name. Example, Yao Ming. Mas nauna yung last name nila kaysa sa first name nila. Next naman is sa mga Indians. Name plus S/O. Sabi na S/O is son of India. Pag lalaki ka is, yung pangalan mo is Rajiv, son of India. Idudugtong yung son of India. Pag sa babae naman is daughter of Priyanka, daughter of Sonia. Pag mga Malaysia naman is name plus bint or binte. Ibig sabihin ng bint is son. Ang binte naman is daughter. Ahmad bint Abdullah. Fatima binte Maryam. Which name to use? In Western countries and in formal settings, first names are commonly used upon first introductions. Pag may nakikilala tayo sa mga party is una ko muna sasabihin is, my name is CHRISANGEL. So, next naman is yung pangalan naman niya, yung unang pangalan naman niya yung i-introduce niya sa akin. Pag sa mga formal settings naman is, wait for the other person to invite you to use some familiar terms. If someone is introduced you as Dr. Jose Cruz, repeat or use that name until invited to use his first name, Jose. Pag yung iba naman is, pag in-introduce tayo sa iba, halimbawa ako introduce ako is Miss CHRISANGEL HABAGAT. Para mas naman is maghihintay siya na sabihin ko sa kanya na it's okay if you call me on my first name, CHRISANGEL. Which name to use? Address a person as Mr. or Miss or Mrs. until asked to address them without titles. So, syempre naman is it's inappropriate if we call them a first name basis. So, mas maganda kung gagamit tayo ng Mr., Miss, or Mrs. So, para naman mas kagalang-galang yung pagtawag natin sa kanila until sabihin nila na pwede naman natin sila tawagin sa first name lang. Forgetting names. Siyempre, di naman sa lahat ng pagkakataon na is maaalala natin yung pangalan nila. Siyempre, hindi naman kasalanan kung hindi naman natin natandaan yung pangalan nila. Pero kung mas maganda is kung kahit maliit na information lang sa pangalan nila is mas maganda kung naalala natin. Kung nakalimutan naman natin, pwede na.
Hello, good morning. You are Mr. Can you please repeat your name for me so I can get it right? Oh, you're Mr. Valderrama. I'm sorry, I'm having a very blank state at this moment.
So, pag sa mga difficult names naman, is take extra care in someone's pronouncing name if difficult it is uncommon to or pronounce. To ask that person to check your pronunciation of his or her name or to inquire about the correct way of saying it is appropriate and a compliment to that person. So, kung mahirap naman yung pangalan nila is pwede naman natin tanungin yung taong yun kung paano ba i-pronounce yung pangalan nila. Kasi parang mas appropriate naman kung tatanungin natin yung tamang pagpo-pronounce sa pangalan nila. Difficult names. If someone mispronounce your name, correct the other person immediately and gently. So, kung meron namang tao na mispronounce yung pangalan natin, pwede naman natin sila i-correct in a gently way. So, parang mas maganda yung pag-approach natin kung na-correct natin sila.
Oh, you are Miss Malinban? Malimbang? Or please correct me if I'm pronouncing your name wrong so I can get it right. No problem. It is pronounced as Malimban. Malimban. It's Malimban. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Other tips in remembering names. Repeat once, twice, or thrice. Associate it with something familiar. Example, Angelo. Pag Angelo, isisipin natin yung unang pangalan is Angel. Pag Candelario naman is Candle. Pag Sagrado naman is Sacred. Meron din naman other tips in remembering names. Meron din naman na breakdown name into syllables. Halimbawa is Valderrama. Valderrama. Halimbawa sa akin din is Habagat. HABAGAT. Para mas madali naman natin matandaan. So, may mga foreign ministers na example yung mahihirap na pangalan. Anifa Aman. Sa Malaysia yon. Pag nagamihan Mar naman is Yu Kiao Tin. Pag sa Thailand is Don Pramodwinai. Vietnam naman is Pom Ben Men. Sa Philippines is Alan Peter Cayetano. Sa Singapore is Vivian Balakrishnan. Sa Brunei naman is Lim Jakseng. Sa Cambodia is Prak Sokhon. Sa Indonesia is Retno Marsudi. Sa Laos naman is Salumsay Komasit. Sa Sekjen naman is Lelong Min. Other names. Ito naman yung foreign minister ng South Korea is babae ito is Kang Kyung-hwa. Sa North Korea naman is Ri Hong-yo. India naman is Brar Randeep Singh. Sa Chinese naman is Jiang Zhanxiao. Yung Taiwanese naman is Ting Kwon Yao. Sri Lanka naman is Ponala Gidara Sumit Rajapaksha. Sa Japanese man is Sugini Genki. Difficult to say or slash spell Korean names. Histor Golevsky, Xiao, Biligares, Gez Denson, Rostinskwowski, Greziwakpi, Wetlaut, Marajeb, Konjerski. So, ayun yung mga information tungkol sa names. So, thank you for listening.
Filipinos have various naming costume, as much as everyone probably wants their names to be creative or least creative. We have no control over the decision. We can only grow up with the name of our parents. They are the unique Filipino names which where actually exist. Example, Ting Ting. Ting Ting, this name is probably known as Tick Broom, or the real name is Christine. That's why she called Ting Ting because of her figure. And Junjun, a name used for referring to a quack as wannabe, his acting so tough and cool. He is Junjun. Ding Dong means silly or foolish version. Bongbong, it means mahilig sa butong-bongbong like. The last one, Joker, that the person who enjoys telling or playing joke. Filipino names. Despite 400 years in the Philippines, the Spaniards we are not able to erase completely ingenious tradition and practice. Even though we are already under Spanish rule, andun pa rin yung culture natin to give name. Example, Agbayani, Behironi, Angara, Beautiful, Balinggit, Touche, Pain to Resurrect, Kayabiyab, Philo a grain founder, Dalisay. Next naman, Filipino who Americanized their name in the USA. Sila Gregorio Tahalib, Thomas Cruz, Macario Baldado, Remedios Bakal, Victoria Malihim, Juanito Lacarin, Jaime Bondo, Casimera Bukaykay, Regolio Dagdagan, Juan Tampipi, Francisco Puntero, Maria Pascua Ligaya Avenero. May mga tao din na pinapalitan ng kanilang pangalan. From Filipino to English and sila yun.
So now, what is in a name? Ano nga ba ang nasa pangalan natin? Is there any importance of having a name? To many of us, it is our most cherished treasure because it bears our honor and worth as a distinct human beings. As for me, on my opinion, it is true. Bearing a name, it is a very, very, very important thing because it is who I am. Okay, Alpha Joy is my name and I am Alpha Joy. Okay? Even though I have identical name, but still that is me, Alpha Joy. That is my identity. And sometimes our names is our pride because it is what that yung nagbibigay sa atin ng popularity. Sometimes even only the name itself already recognizes you. Oh, mabanggit ang yung pangalan mo, this person is very, 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 only the name, right? But sometimes there are people na, I don't know, I can't understand why they're naming their children. I'm not judging them because it's their right to give name for their child. Sometimes there are so many long names. Recently, I've watched in the news a little boy. He's crying. He's crying because he can't write his full name because it's very long. He knows how to spell it verbally, but when you ask him to write his name, he's going to start to cry because he is complaining his name is very long. He already talked to his parents to change his name to Boy because it's very short. But then that is his name. So there is a law that is for our name. It is Republic Act 6085, which regulates the uses of aliases, provides that no person shall use any name different from the one first registered at birth in the local civil registry. Okay? Hindi ka pwedeng gumamit ng pangalan no person shall use any name different sa kung ano yung nasa birth certificate mo. Kung ano yung ni-register sa NSO, bawal kang gumamit. Kung ano yun, yung nasa register nun, yun na yun. Kaya sometimes it is very important to check the spelling of the name before you pass it or register it to the registry because once it is being registered, there is no turning back. Okay? Example, if my name, if the spelling of your name is ALPHA, but then the person who wrote the name is ALLPHA, and once it's registered, it is ALLPHA, not ALPHA, as you what expected. So be careful. And he was baptized for the first time. Hindi ka pwedeng gumamit ng ibang pangalan from the one na nabautismuhan ka. You're being baptismed with, the name you're being baptismed with. In case of an alien registered in the Bureau of Immigration upon entry, okay? Bawal yun. Paano ba siya i-explain? No person shall use any name different from the one. There are some cases na yung pangalan is naka-registered na sa Bureau of Immigration. So yon yung alien name, babaguhin mo. So parang ganon upon entry. Such substitute name as authorized by competent law. So hindi ka rin pwedeng gumamit ng aliases hanggat hindi siya inaaprubahan ng korte. But if it is authorized by the court, then you may use it. But if not, you shall not use any name different from your own or original name. Or unless, pinabago mo. Kasi may mga ganun, di ba? Binabago yung binabawasan ng pangalan, binabawas ng letra, dinadagdagan ng pangalan, dinadaan siya sa court. And once na-authorize na yun, so pwede na. Sunod. There are exemptions to these 4 items. The same law allows aliases solely for literary, cinema, TV, radio, or other entertainment purposes, and in athletic events where the use of pseudonyms is normally accepted. So, meron pa rin naman palang exemptions ang Republic Act 6085. Solely, inaalaw ang paggamit ng aliases, especially sa mga authors in literary works and sa mga libro. Example na lang is Marcelo H. Del Pilar is also an author. And his name, if I'm not mistaken, one of his books, his name written there is Plaridel, but he is the author. But his pen name there is Plaridel. In cinema, artists, okay, mga artista, hindi lahat ng nasa showbiz, yun ang tunay nilang pangalan. Example na lang is si Pokwang. His name is, the real name of Pokwang is Marieta Subong. Very different or very far from Pokwang. Radio or other entertainment purposes. Sa mga radio stations, sina DJ Dudut, Papa Dudut, yan. Hindi yan ang tunay nilang pangalan, but it is allowed by the law. Athletic events where the use of pseudonym is very accepted. Si mga alias Ahas, bata, alias Pacman, kay Manny Pacquiao. Sa mga boxers, marami, kasi ang tatay ko is mahilig sa boxing. When he's watching, he will mention the alias than the actual name. It's Ahas Nietes, that is, but his name is different, okay? That is only his alias, okay? So example dito nga is Pancho Villa, Pacman, Manny Pacquiao. Pancho Villa, his real name is Francisco Pancho Villa. He is a Mexican revolutionary general. Si Pacman, alam na natin, Manny Pacquiao. Si Dolphy, his real name is Rodolfo Vera Quezon, Sr. Si Erap, Joseph Estrada, but he is known as Erap. Next is revolutionaries according to Mohagar Iqbal or Datokan Abbas use pseudonyms such as, example is Marcelo Del Pilar. Marcelo Del Pilar has many names. Isa lang ang pangalan niyang Plaridel. He also uses the name or alias Pudpo, Piping Dilat, Siling Labuyo, Kupang, Maitalaga, and Dolores. Okay, Dolores. That is his other names. And also Ninoy Aquino. If We remember during the nung panahon ni na Marcos, he fled to abroad. And when he came back to the Philippines, he uses a different name aside from his name Ninoy Aquino. Instead, he used Marshal Bonifacio. That is written on his passport. So, yun.
The civil code also permits the use of pen names or stage names provided that in good faith and there is no injury to third person. Merong mga tao na pinapayagan o inaalaw ng batas yung paggamit ng mga pen name or stage names ng isang tao. Basta ginagamit ito sa mabuti na wala siyang tinatapakang tao or pinapahamak. It is for everyone good faith.
There are names or Filipino use nicknames, though not expressly allowed by Republic Act 6085, but it is still present. Nandun pa rin. Example is FM, Cory, FVR, ERA, GMA, Pinoy. GMA is in Kapuso Channel, if I'm not mistaken, yes. ERA, Joseph Estrada. Siguro naging ano na talaga as Arab because he is known to being Arab, Joseph Estrada. Pinoy. Our former President Noynoy Aquino is known mostly or majority of the Filipino, if you ask who is the president before President Duterte, it is Pinoy, not President Noynoy, because he is known for the nickname of Pinoy. Okay? And Cory Aquino. Cory Aquino is her name is Cory Corazon Aquino. So there are so many Filipino names, though it is not expressly allowed by Republic Act 685, but still it's present. It's still used by us Filipinos. So now, there are certain special laws or regulations that ban the use of aliases. So, hindi lahat ng aliases are pinapayagan. Example is Jose Pidal or Jose Villarde. If you are opening in the central bank, meaning Jose Pidal or Jose Villarde, it is not allowed. Okay? Opening bank accounts are not allowed in central bank kung yun ang mga pangalan ninyo. And in Republic Act 6085, if you use an illegal alias as pseudonym, you will be charged of 1 or sentenced to 1 to 5 years imprisonment and pagmumultahin ka ng 5,000 to 10,000 pesos. So yun. So be careful in using names because it is very critical, especially if you pronounce it, if you wrote it wrong. Okay, so be careful. So, yeah.
Meron dito ilang example na medyo uncommon yung mga names nila as Filipino. Yan yun yung nakikita nyo dito picture dyan. Dahil nga may silang foreign blood, sila ang sinusunod din nila name yung surname ng parents nila. Para sa ating landin, iba ang ginagamit natin surname ay yung surname ng papa natin. Parang ganun lang din sila, parang same sa atin. At same lang nung sa atin, yung kanila.